Do you know, I've got a really weird, varied background, and in fact, one part of my history that I don't talk about too much when it comes to podcasting is the fact that I used to own a search engine optimization agency, an SEO agency, which went on to become part of the bigger digital agency, Hacksaw, that I used to run right up until I became, well, a bit of a podcast geek. And today I want to talk to you about exactly what SEO is. It comes off the back of a question that actually came in last week whilst I was at Podfest. It came in from a friend of mine called Kat. And Kat said to me, look, how do I go about finding an SEO partner? So I'm going to talk about that on Friday. But as I was planning this episode out, because Kat, she'd asked me that last week, I thought to myself, well, wait a second, if I just answer, that question, how do I find an SEO partner? I'm probably leaving a lot of people high and dry because a lot of people do not know what SEO is. So that is what we're going to discuss here today on the Podcast Accelerator. I'm your host, Mark Asquith, CEO and co-founder of Rebel Base Media, where we make podcasting technologies such as Captivate.fm, the world's only growth-oriented podcast host, where you can host unlimited podcasts for one monthly cost. Go ahead and check it out at Captivate.fm. Hey, look, also, before we get into the episode proper, I want to just give a quick shout-out to my team at AWeber, my email marketing platform of choice, who I highly recommend that you consider for your email marketing needs. They've just rolled out today, as I record this, a fantastic new feature, which is automatic landing pages using their landing page design tool. So you might be thinking, well, Marco, what's the deal here? What do I need to do with this? What's the point of me doing this? Well, look, maybe you want to start launching something. Maybe you want to put a lead magnet out there. Maybe you want to put something out there to gather email addresses quickly and easily without having to build a fresh website. Well, you can do that now with AWeber's landing pages. So just one more reason to go and check AWeber out for your email marketing needs. Please go ahead and check it out now at markasquith.com/AWeber. Now, like I said, back in the day, I used to own an SEO agency, a search engine optimization agency. And SEO, or search engine optimization, is one of the core components of generating organic traffic on the web. As a former digital agency owner, I often get asked about why SEO is important for podcasters. But like I said, first, I just want to cover what the hell it is. So, SEO is the process of optimizing your content to be found inside search engines. Now, what is a search engine? Google is a search engine. YouTube is a search engine. Spotify is a search engine. Apple Podcasts is a search engine. So a search engine is something where you input a query, you ask a question, you search for something, and it serves up results. Now, SEO, search engine optimization, is the practice of making sure that your content is as well optimized as possible to be one of the favorable pieces of content shown upon the results being delivered to the user. So if I search for listener acquisition flow in Google, my website comes up. If you search for unlimited podcast hosting, one of the organic results that comes up is Captivate. If you search for podcast websites, our platform comes up. And this is the key thing. It's making sure that you rank well on the first page as high as possible, not as an advert, not as a sponsored link, but as a natural, recurring, just result presented by Google, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Now, there's an entire industry about this. And the thing that you've got to understand is that SEO is not a one-time thing. And so many people say to me, Mark, how do I do my SEO? And you can't do your SEO. You have to learn SEO, or you have to work with someone on SEO. That's like saying, how do I do karate? How do I do Jeet Kune Do? You don't. You learn them. You become better at them. You practice them, and you continually improve. And that is why the word optimization exists in the context of SEO. It's not SED, search engines done. It's SEO, search engine optimization. And just like your health, your fitness, you optimize that. You're continually becoming better and better at it. Now, the way that it generally works is that a lot of people used to try and game this. I used to have a client back in my old agency days who swore blind that he could game Google by using what we call black hat techniques. So techniques that tend to work for a day or 2 days or a week or a year, but long term don't necessarily serve the user. Okay, so this client used to do this all the time. He used to do dodgy links into his website, which back in the day used to really help your search engine optimization, much less so now. And he started ranking for these keywords, but he was doing everything naughty. He was hacking things. And I said to him, the second that Google clocks on, just like the second that Apple clocks on to something in podcasting, I said to him, you will be penalized. And he told me that that wouldn't happen. Sure enough, one day, Google put out an update called Penguin, and then subsequently it was Panda, and then it was Penguin, or Penguin, then Panda, whatever. They carried on putting these updates out, and his business, the rug came out from under his entire business because all of his traffic disappeared. Okay? And the reason it disappeared was because all that Google is trying to do, Google is a business, Apple is a business. So if you were trying to game the system, if you were trying to game things by stuffing keywords, let's use a podcasting context. If you were stuffing Mark Asquith interviews Chris Ducker, John Lee Dumas, Pat Flynn, and blah, 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 into the author tag just to try and rank for the word Pat Flynn, Apple is, of course, going to penalize you like they did last year. Because, very simply, Apple as a business, just like Google as a business, it is in the job, it is in the business of serving up the very best results to its customers from its search results. Google can't serve crap just because it's optimized using black hat hacking methods. Because if it did that, no one would use Google. They would use Bing. Honestly, they would, probably. They would use another alternative. DuckDuckGo, maybe. Another one. So it has to continually, Google has to get more refined and has to be user-centric. The same with Apple, Spotify, and so on. So as podcasters, what we tend to do is we'll put lots of crap in our podcast. Mark Asquith in the author tag is all I need. Mark Asquith, Rebel-Based Media, that is me. I don't need to put Mark Asquith interviews inspiring entrepreneurs, day-to-day mindfulness, blah, 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 crap. That is not going to help your search engine optimization. In fact, Apple will probably boot you out of Apple Podcasts for that because it needs to serve the right data. And you have to help by cleaning up the data. So, the same goes for organic search in your website, in anything that you're trying to optimize, like a YouTube video. The thing that you've got to remember with this is that every single search engine puts two things at the top of its list. User centricity. So is the user getting what it needs? Is the user getting what it needs from this result? If it's not, I ain't going to rank it. I'm going to put it on page 2 of Google. Okay? Number 2, search engines care about ad revenue. Search engines care about ad revenue. And search is very, very competitive, which is why SEO is not something that can be quote unquote done. It has to be learnt. It has to be practiced. And if, just like any other marketing, if you can't learn it or you can't practice it because you don't have the time or the money, you have to outsource it to an expert, okay? Or you have to learn enough to start targeting a niche that you are confident that you can rank in because it's maybe not as competitive as some of the other niches, all right? There are so many factors that go into this. This is a real top-level overview, but takeaway, search engine optimization is the process of optimizing your content to be delivered to users via search results. Okay? The things that generally search engines look for are high-quality search phrases, key phrases in title tags, in descriptions, in content. Okay? But it can't be learnt. It can't be done. It has to be learnt and it has to be practiced. And it's an ongoing thing. Optimize, tweak, refine. Continually, you need to be search engine optimizing. Or if you can't do that, which it's a full industry of itself, you probably have to outsource. Okay? It's an interesting challenge. You know, a lot of people want to kind of blag the SEO and think it's just been done and it's something that you just finish. You never finish anything in marketing. All right? You never finish anything in marketing. All you do is measure, test, rinse, and repeat. All right? Remember that. It's absolutely vital. Now, I'm going to move on Friday on the next episode, 131, to talk specifically to the question that Kat asked, which is, how do you find a quality SEO partner? Okay, so we're going to talk about that on the next episode. And until the next time, like I said, we can go so much deeper into SEO, which we probably will do at some point in the future. It's something that I've got a decent background in. I've got a lot of friends that do this. Spoken to a lot of some of the world's premier people in SEO. Okay, so I've got a strong background in this. Thankfully, this is something that we probably can go a little bit deeper into. So I'm going to be picking up Kat's question on the next episode. Until the next time, if you need anything, drop me an email. Okay, drop me an email. We can always discuss it. If you don't have my email address, tweet me at Mr. Asquith and let's go deep into it. All right. So thank you for joining me. And until the next time, go and try Captivate.fm and never forget, the more you expect from yourself, the more you will excel.